So another day, another Silo Theory video. As always, I'm Al, this is the Geek in Review. And I want to talk about one particular aspect in the Silo that kind of fascinated me, or the lack of it fascinated me. Because we've seen a lot of life in the Silo from Season 1. We've seen how some things work closer up more than others. But in this video, I want to look into the politics of the Silo and ask the question, is there any politics in the Silo? But anyway, so yeah, back to my question, is there politics in the Silo? And think about it. In Season 1, we've seen two mayors. And while Johns wasn't round long enough, she seemed like she liked the job, and she liked to do the job, I guess. But what exactly did she do? How do elections work in the Silo? And I mean, seriously, think about that. What do different mayors stand for? Is there another side to political beliefs? Is there like a left or a right? Because if you're running for mayor, what platform would you run on? What are you going to do differently from the last guy? Maybe they could change something with regards to the birthing lottery, if it's not in the pact, I suppose. Maybe they could abolish the mines as a punishment or make it worse, I suppose. But beyond that, there aren't any sort of luxurious highs or upper classes in the Silo. Yeah, of course there is a divide for sure, but it's not, say, Mark Zuckerberg's wealth versus you, put it that way. And as admin, or at least Bernard and Sims seem to be the real power, I wonder if any mayor has ever been in on any of the secrets, or they're just a sort of figurehead puppet kind of thing. Because other than making sure the pact is upheld, which Bernard did stress with, and I'll get to that later on, the mayor doesn't really seem to do much. And I keep saying it throughout my videos, but you can see as the episodes went on, once he took the role, how uncomfortable Bernard was as mayor. He kept drinking and he really didn't like doing any sort of action in public. And this sort of takes me on to my next point is, I wonder who would be mayor next if it wasn't Bernard. Is he going to hold on to power after Jules disappeared over the hill? And the answer is yeah. I can see him staying in power as mayor to maintain control, and I think he'll lose his grip even more. But it'll be more interesting to see what he does or what he's willing to do to sort of deal with the Jules situation. And don't forget that from everything Bernard has said in Season 1, all his actions are to preserve this Silo, so in his eyes, he's the good guy. Because again, going back to politics in the Silo, there doesn't seem to be any. There's no good guy or bad guy, there's no far left or far right, there's not even a middle as far as I can tell. And that's a huge blank that you need to fill in. Now, part of me does wonder if this is linked to the rebellion or it's part of the original Silo design. Another theory video where I talk about who could have built the Silo, but for this moment, let's just go with the idea that it was built by whatever form of government was in charge of the US at the time. So think about that. Imagine that there is only this one Silo and it is filled with just people who worked in the White House and the Pentagon and admin and IT guys and that kind of thing. Most, not all of them, if that was the case, would have originally went in being part of the same political party, or at least, very least, had the same idea. So that would maybe explain why there's no politics in the Silo if, say, everyone who went into it was a Democrat or everyone who went into it was a Republican. You wouldn't get much political pushback from the majority having the same point of view overall. And at the end of the day, they're trying to survive. Politics wouldn't be the most important thing. Also, if that is the case and they were all part of the sort of same rough political belief structure, that might explain the whole planned birth control and breeding as well, because they might want to get rid of certain ideals that they don't want in the Silo. But that's for another video. But let's go back to the Silo at the moment then, or at least a little bit in the future. I think in Season 2 we'll see Bernard tighten his grip as mayor. I don't think he'll trust in Sims to explore the tunnel and the door. I think that he'll trust in Sims to explore the tunnel and the door that he's found out about from the end of Season 1. Remember, he wants him as his shadow, so that's a bit of a big deal of trust there. And Sims is up to his own thing as well. And news of this is going to spread throughout the silo, and it's not like the janitor's closet. He can't just tell everyone to forget it. So that's the number one thing I think Bernard is going to need to sort out next season. But what do you guys think? Why is there no real politics in the silo? Is it just not a priority because they've always had to survive and then they just never got back into it? Do you think it is all the one government or one political party, or at least the majority of them, that went into the silo originally, and that's why it wasn't continued over because there was no real opposition? Do you think the opposition is getting bred out, or is there something in the water? I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, or as always, you can follow me on Twitter at The Geeks Reviews. If you've made it this far, please leave a like on the video, and if you haven't done it already, subscribe to the channel. And as always, my name's Al, thanks for watching.